Let's talk about moderate Muslims in America. I made a video yesterday talking about how my version of reality here in America is every Muslim I've ever met has been a very kind person. It's only when I turn on the news, which I don't watch the news. I don't keep up with it. I don't care. I just live my life. But I'm aware, because I used to watch the news, I'm aware of how Muslims are perceived in American media. And then I compare that and I contrast that to what I see in real life. Now, granted, we just had this Las Vegas shooting this week. And how convenient would it have been had the shooter been Muslim? That would have been very convenient for politics and for this agenda that Muslims are here to terrorize the world and Muslims are horrible people and all these ideas that I think that people want us to believe. At the same time, I think this concept is complicated in the fact that people who are commenting on this video, on the other video, are saying, well, actually though, in Europe it is a different story. Okay, I can't speak on that because I'm not in Europe and I've never been to Europe. But I will say this. Here's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of a book that I read a couple years ago called Freakonomics. I think the book came out about a decade ago. And it was talking about micro trends in America. How if something affects 1% of America, it's enough to start a trend in America. And it was predictions. And this book's, I think, a decade old now. So the author of this book predicted that in years to come, which here we are in those years to come, that there would be moderate Muslims. Moderate Muslims. So what that means is these second generation Muslims here in America. Are they Muslim? Yeah. Yeah, they pray to Allah 5 times. They participate in Ramadan. You know, they're religiously Muslim. However, they're not radical and they're not extreme. So what it means is, for all practical purposes, they're cool. You know, I can hang out with someone who's a Muslim. Our religious views don't get in each other's conversations. It's not an issue at all. And actually, moderate Muslims could even fall the category of Muslims who drink alcohol, which I know that goes against the mainstream Muslim concept. But these are moderate Muslims. These are the second generation. It's not that they're less of a Muslim than someone who would I know? How could I even say that? I don't know. But what I do know is it's a moderate Muslim. And I think there's a good chance that the reason my perception of Muslims is so positive is because that's what I know. That's what I'm exposed to. And I choose to ignore what I see on the news about the terrorists across the world. And what I choose to see is what I know firsthand, which are moderate Muslims. People who are kind and happy and don't have an agenda to join ISIS or some kind of extreme situation like that. That's what I'm exposed to. And I think that's why I enjoy talking about this. So I thank you for participating in the comments, because I think what we're able to see is we live in different parts of the world. We're exposed to things differently. So when I see Muslims in America in real life, I see kind, cool people. It's that simple. If you're in Europe, you may have a different version of that. And I can accept that. But what I refuse to believe that most Muslims are out to get everybody, and that most Muslims are the exception to the rule of this thing that we're shown on the media. But as for me and my life in 2017, in America, I'm exposed to moderate Muslims. And it's just like the book said it would happen, Freakonomics. It talked about this. If you want to look into that more, check it out. But that book is my version of reality. Let's keep talking about this. This is fascinating. I like learning. I'm in America. This is all I can see, right? And if I'm already skeptical of the news, I'm like, to me, this is more relevant than the news. It is. I'd rather hear from people living their lives than someone with an agenda in the media.